Welcome to Late Night Ramblings, episode 2. Now, today's episode is just going to be me ranting for however long about, let's say, video games for today's episode. So, today I was in the car just sitting around doing things because personal issues, and I had my Nintendo Switch with me. Now, I've been wanting this Nintendo Switch for many months. Pretty much, I've wanted one since it came out. And I thought, ever since I bought it, these games are going to be so much fun to play whenever I'm not, having anything to do. Turns out, you need the internet for a lot of Nintendo Switch games. And you know how infuriating that is when you're just sitting down in the car, whether on a car trip or just somewhere where there's no internet, and you're just like, I want to play, Doom, or Minecraft, or even just My Hero Academia 1 Justice. Games that you would think, you won't need internet for. No, it's a trick. You need internet, and it drives me insane. Now, I like video games, but I'm just now starting to become a video gamer, more frequently, even though I've definitely kept my distance. One of my favorite games is Resident Evil 4. Now, I started playing this game when it roughly came out on the Wii in 2007, 8, 9, somewhere around there. And I loved this game on the Wii. And my father used to play it all the time, and every time he'd get stuck at a part, I would take over. And I would just be blasting these people back and forth with the shotgun. I'd be having the time of my life. And then our Wii broke. Well, luckily, he beat it before then, and he was working on beating it in hard mode, but our Wii broke, and I haven't been able to play it. So it's been 7, 8, 9, 10 years since I last played the game. And I finally got a Nintendo Switch after graduation. And then I realized, they got my favorite game on the Switch. So I proceeded to download it and play through it. Nothing has made me more furious than this game. Now, keep in mind, I'm used to playing with a Wii remote and a nunchuck. But now I'm playing on an actual controller with the A, B, X, Y, all that jazz with the little turny sticks on both sides. And I realized you can't really turn them around a lot of the time. To actually look, you gotta use the joysticks, and it's just, So, I finally, I beat the game decently enough. Okay, I still have a good third of it, probably. And at one point I was playing with my mother, and she'd be like, behind you! Load your gun, you're out of ammo. And it's just I just shot the last bullet. No, duh, I'm out of ammo. Yes, I know there's a person behind me. I could hear them. I could see them walking towards me. I get it, Mom. And so, luckily, I was playing with her for a little bit. And then eventually I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead to my room for the night. And I kept playing it. I am so glad I decided to call it there, because the next thing you know, I am surrounded by invisible fucking bugs. And these things were coming from everywhere. And I knew if my mother was sitting there while I was playing, I would not have heard the end of it. So, he's over there, there he is, oh, there's one there, you forgot him. And it's just hush. So eventually, I just decided, okay, rather than kill all the enemies in this area, how about we just book it? And lo and behold, that's what I did. I probably skipped a whole bunch of them not being dead. And you know what? I think it was for the better. So, eventually, I kept playing it. I finally did the maze where they had these weird hellhound type of dogs and everything. And it took me a few tries. 3 to 5 tries at that. But anyway, it took me a couple tries. And then I finally got to this place where Ashley's been taken by this weird-ass bug thing, and if you haven't played the game, I'm sorry. This is spoilers, I guess. It's just, look, the way I describe things, I don't really think you need a spoiler warning because it's just going to confuse you. If you even know what I'm talking about, it's still going to confuse you. But anyway, so Ashley's taken by this giant bug thing, and Ashley's the president's daughter. You're supposed to go and, like, search for her as Leon S. Kennedy. And anyway, so she gets taken, which is that's good because I'm not sitting there anymore listening to help, Leon, help, because it gets so freaking annoying. At one point, I remember I just put her in a trash can and left her there in hidden mode for a solid 20 minutes as I cleared out an area because I just did not want to deal with her ass. So anyway, so I finally get to this one area, and I have to get past this bridge thing, and I am almost out of ammo. And I finally kill everything on the bridge, and I get to the other side of the bridge where there's a save point. So I save. It's not that bad. And then I enter the building, and that's when all hell breaks loose. I have no ammo, I'm low on grenades, there's 3 blind guys here that hear every single thing you do, and they cause a lot of freaking damage. I'm low on health, I have nothing. So I rage quit. I have not picked up this game since, and it's been about a solid month or so. So if you want to know what type of gamer I am, it's that. So anyway, that's one of my favorite games. But another game I recently started playing has been Doom. So a friend of mine has got me into these games, and it's a very close friend of mine. And, well, so I'm playing the first one, because I bought the first 3 because they were on sale. And I have 2 places left on the first map. So I should easily have it done. No, I just haven't been playing it. And, like, I'm going around this game, and I realized I have 3 save files in this game. The first save file is me going in there blindly, not knowing what the hell is going on, because I never opened the game before. The second one is me going through realizing, oh, if I die, I lose half my shit. So if I just keep it to where I don't die, and I have a save file that lets me go back to it, then I'll be fine. I'll always have all of my stuff. And then my third one is for when I've cleaned out most of an area and I have no idea what to do next, because I don't know how to access the map or anything. I don't know, like, where to go in half the levels. I'm just winging it, hoping for the best. So I'll have a third save where if I see that there's a pit of toxic whatever, and I see there's a platform across, and I don't know if I can make it or not without pretty much killing myself. So I'll just be like, okay, well, just save that there, and then I'll book it. 9 out of 10 times, it ends up being what I needed to do. But still, one of my favorite games now. I've only played the first one. Not even done with the first one. I'm, like, not even a quarter through the first one. Still one of my favorite games. And then, on the other side of the spectrum, I've been playing Night in the Woods, which is honestly it's a game that I call one of my favorites, even though I've never really played it until today, as of this recording. And it's actually a really down-to-earth game that makes you realize that the world changes around you, even though you're not ready. And I know you weren't probably expecting an existential crisis in the middle of this video, but here we are anyway. That's why they're called late night ramblings, where I just don't shut up and I talk. And so the main character is a sophomore in college dropout, and she comes home and she realizes, oh, a lot of the places that were around me have been shut down. They're doing construction around me. My friends have got jobs and lives, and honestly, it hits home. And it's one of my favorite games. I've seen Jacksepticeye play this game 4, 5, maybe 6 times, and all the episodes together equal like 7 hours in total, 7 to 8 hours, and it's one of my favorite things. And they have this song called Die Anywhere Else. And it's one of the games that you play as like a mini game within the game on May's guitar, the main character's guitar. And I found a video through YouTube where it's that song with like full music behind it, and the lyrics are actually sung out loud instead of just being lyrics on screen with no vocals. And I've listened to that song so much because how much it hits home with me. If you haven't checked out this game, I 100% recommend checking out Night in the Woods. You will go through a roller coaster of emotions if you're the type of person who could just look at a video game and put yourself in the main character's shoes, or just gets really into storylines. And it's just one of those where I 100% recommend. So anyway, back on a non-sad topic. Another disturbingly depressing game, I guess you could say, even though I said we're not going to be on the depressing topic. Well, here we are anyway. Is Sally Face. I've recently just watched gameplay of Sally Face, even though this game has been out for a while now, and it's honestly really good. I have no idea how to describe this game without, I guess, spoiling it. All I know is if I ever cosplay again, I'm going to be Sal, because I have fallen in love with this character. It's one of my favorite characters. And another thing that, I guess, to change topic and make it from depressing to not as depressing, my absolute favorite video game character is Mimikyu from the Pokemon series. I believe it's they, because I don't think Mimikyu actually has a set gender. Mimikyu, I believe, is in either X and Y or Sun and Moon. I think it's in Sun and Moon, but I could be wrong, since I haven't actually fully played a Pokemon game, despite being absolutely obsessed with one of the characters. So yeah, Mimikyu is just a very, very interesting character, to the point where if anybody who knows me behind the scenes knows I use that in a lot of different usernames occasionally. That's also why I have, in my description, people call me Q from Mimikyu, because that's my alias. So yeah. Another thing that I want to talk about with video games is just soundtracks in them sometimes. Because sometimes the music in there just hits differently. And I don't know how to put it. Because you could be watching a movie or a TV show. Or a TV show, and it's just, yeah, there's good music. But then you play a video game, and when you're playing as the character, it puts you into the place of the character. And it creates an atmosphere that is just something else that you can't really put into words sometimes. And I guess that's what Die Anywhere Else does for me. It's one of those songs where I feel myself in the lyrics. And it's really hard to find those songs. And when you do, you just stick to them. And, like, with Night in the Woods, they have, like, a bunch of songs in-game where even though there's no vocals or anything, the music is just, with that game, it just hits home, to put it lightly. But another game that has a bunch of songs that got overly popular, and one that never leaves my nightmares, is Undertale. And if you understood the nightmares part as soon as I said the word Undertale, or even before that, you know what I'm talking about. Megalovania. I have never been able to escape that song since the game came out, and even now, it still haunts me. I'm a My Hero Academia person. I like that show. I can't look at All Might the same ever since I saw him say something. I don't remember what the line was, but he was really close to the screen, and his eyes were blue, and it was just that one. He was pissed, and his one blue eye was just there, and he was glaring, and it's just like all I thought was Sans from Undertale. I couldn't think about anything else, just Sans from frickin' Undertale. And it's gotten to the point where I have a D&D character, and long story short, he turned into a warlock by not his own doing. And because of this, he now has a glowing eye. And I didn't mean for this to happen. I never knew this was going to happen to my character. But then the opportunity came up, and I asked my DM, because it just fit way too well with backstory and whatnot, that they allowed it. And he previously had blue eyes. And now every time his patron god talks to him, one of his eyes just glows bright ass blue. So, well, not even when they talk. He now has one blue eye that's almost black, and then one blue eye that is just pure sands. And I never meant for that to happen. And yet it did. And it's just one of those things where I just don't understand how it keeps haunting me. Undertale came out many years ago, and I'm pretty sure this game is going to follow me to my deathbed. I can't even escape it on TikTok, and I'm not even on the Undertale side of TikTok. But it's just sans frickin' Undertale everywhere. So yeah, that's video games for you. I don't know what topic I'll be doing next, but stay tuned. Maybe you'll find it. And sorry for episode 1 not being 40 minutes like I said. Turns out I can only record so many minutes on my phone, because that's what I'm recording on. I'm recording on my phone with a pair of headphones, so that's also why the editing is non-existent, because I don't know how, and this is all I know how to do. But I only have so much recording space on my phone at a time, so episodes are going to be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, maybe slightly longer, maybe less. It just depends on what I'm rambling about. So yeah, with that, I'm going to end episode 2 here. Thank you for listening to me ramble about video games, and hope to catch you in the next one. Bye! Toodles!